What is up, and welcome back to our Chicago Bears franchise, and we are 1-0 to start the season. We got a big win, 23-20 against the Green Bay Packers, and it was quite a sketchy ending there. We could have lost it for sure. Went for it on the goal line. That came back to bite us in the butt. Green Bay ties the game, and we win it in the last second field goal. But this week, we're going up against the New York Football Giants with Saquon Barkley, and I'm sure a whole new set of players on that roster. Of course, they have Kayvon Thibodeau, along with, I wonder who the new quarterback is. They still got Daniel Jones. We're going to find out. Let's get a kind of good idea of what the Giants will be bringing to the table as they make their way into Soldier Field. Teddy Bridgewater, 30-year-old stopgap quarterback, bridge quarterback, as you see in his player tag, is now in New York. And of course, we have Saquon Barkley, along with a good backup there, and Alexander Mattison. Let's see what we got on the wide receivers. So the receivers for the Giants, kind of not where I would have expected them to be. Now, Kenny Golladay, big contract, really underperforming. Kadarius Toney, very big playmaker. He's got speed, and he's got really good agility in space, in open space. Eric Ebron, another talented, athletic freak of a tight end coming out of North Carolina there. And we go look at the defensive side of the ball. Of course, Dexter Lawrence on the right edge. Marcus Davenport, along with Leonard Williams. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. It's kind of a weird mixture of players there on the defensive line. Then their rookie, Teddy Lamplin, out of LSU, holding down the defensive tackle position. Now, Azeez Ojulari here playing on the outside linebacker, Jayon Brown, and then, of course, Kayvon Thibodeau, who is hurt. So we won't be seeing him this week. So that'll be a good thing. As far as for our pass protection, we won't have to worry about Thibodeau coming off the edge. Now, their secondary, not too bad here. Dory Jackson can make some plays. You got Sean Murphy Bunting, and then Bryce Callahan. Safety, Xavier McKinney, really good safety. He can make things happen. And then Terrell Burgess is strong safety. So this team is talented. They're young, and they've got a veteran quarterback. Now, they are 0-1. They lost. So if we go to our weekly strategy, let's go ahead and get that started. I think the game plan's got to be stopping Saquon, right? I mean, we don't want Saquon to beat us. Now, last week they passed at 58%, and it's really kind of, at this point in the season, really hard to kind of look at the statistics and make a recommended decision. But if we look, who's the best player on the offense? It's Saquon. And let's not let him get to the outside. Let's try to keep him on the inside. Then on the defensive side of the ball, I think we want to continue to maybe run it inside. I didn't like the way David Montgomery did last week. He really kind of struggled for the most part as far as picking up yards. I think he was averaging like 4 yards a clip. So again, this is no different than we did last week. Stop the run and try to press the run. And we got to see Teddy Bridgewater. Will he give up an interception? That's going to be our goal, our game plan. And we're going to keep all of our players exactly the same. We got to get these offensive linemen, Tevin Jenkins and Max Lowry, built up so that we can give Justin Fields some time in the pocket. You saw last week when he had time, he was able to make things happen. So nobody hurt this week. Great. We've got a fully healthy roster. Let's see what we got. There we go. Larry Borom, right tackle, is going to get an upgrade point. Not really that it matters. I don't know why I thought that was like amazing. He's a backup tackle for us. Darnell Mooney finally gets an upgrade point. I really like our 3 wide receivers all had, I think, like 60, maybe 65 plus yards receiving. And Darnell Mooney, deep threat slot guy, he did really good in the slot. He's really not a deep threat wide receiver as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't have the speed, in my opinion, for the deep route. And you see deep routes 84. His speed's 93, which is, in my opinion, it's kind of average. Agility's 83. His acceleration, 94, not too bad. But his release isn't really that good, in my opinion. I think we continue to work him in the slot, let him develop. I think that is probably what is going to be most beneficial for us and the way we use him. So Darnell Mooney does get an upgrade point, and that wide receiver core for the Chicago Bears is getting even better. Now, I haven't looked at any of the prospects this time around, and I want to kind of do a better job. I really wasn't pleased at all. We had a pretty bad draft. Let's be honest. We hit home with our first round pick, which you got to, right? And really your first and second round pick should be playmakers. I just don't feel like we did a good enough job of solidifying our team with our draft. So this year, I want to get a little bit more into it and try to build that up. But this top 10 picks. I just want to kind of talk about these and see what we got, get an idea of what all we got going on. Quarterback Caesar Ray, and he is out of date. He's a top 5 projection quarterback, and of course we're going to still continue to roll with Justin Fields. So quarterback's really not that big of a deal, but the first thing that jumps out to me is Clayton Cruz here out of Louisville, 6'5", 255 pounds. So he's a big guy. Now he's a physical player who delivers bone crushing hits, savvy defender with the ball in the air. I like that. I like a good coverage linebacker. Has a motor that runs through whistles, often looks to rip balls from runners, lacks discipline resulting in avoidable penalties, so he will commit penalties from time to time. Utilizes a spin move, has a swift overarm move. He kind of seems like I don't know what type of player he is. Man coverage is a D, power moves is a C. So it's going to be interesting. What type of player is Clayton Cruz? He might be a rush the passer type of linebacker, but the fact that he has the player note that says savvy defender with the ball in the air means that I think his zone coverage is probably pretty good. So Clayton Cruz, somebody that I want to keep an eye on. We're going to go ahead and add him to the favorites. Now, Brendan Flynn, Darren Layman, both tackle positions. Now, I really do like our tackles currently, but we can always move these guys inside and out if they have the agility for it. That's kind of what I want to do. If we have tackles that are really fast and can be pulling guards, we can put them at guards. But if not, I really don't want to move them around too much. It seems like a lot of the top players are tackles. So I think we've got a really good opportunity here. If we look at Kyle Gordon, Bradley Lindholm, Tyreek Jones, and then of course, Darren Layman and Brennan Flynn, they are all within like the top 15 and there are tackles there. So I think there's a good chance that we could potentially look using Kyle Curtis. Now there's another outside linebacker here, Mike Theory, and he's a round 1 projection, and we already have some stuff available for him. Block shedding is a C, and tackle is a C. So he's okay. Jumping is great to elite. He seems to be an okay round 1 pick. We'll have to let some more stuff develop from Mike Theory there out of Alabama. You know, you always get a good Alabama player. They linebacker should be pretty decent. And then we've got another round 1 projection outside linebacker, and that's really obviously what I'm targeting this year. Now we did sign someone off the practice squad, but you know, he's 70 overall. Do you really want to have that guy be somebody that you try to develop long term? I don't really think so. His skills are Henry Cook here. He's got A pursuit and C hit power, but I like that. A pursuit means that he's probably got some good acceleration. If we look at it, speed's marginal decent. No, it's not really good. So his speed's really not all that great. Pretty slow linebacker if we look at it, but struggles to find the ball in the air. So his awareness is not really that great either. Shows good discipline, won't get flagged much. So again, we'll take those with a grain of salt. Really, what we are really worried about is obviously those key ratings. So we've got some of those guys already marked. Outside linebacker, edge rusher, and more offensive line is really what I'm looking for in this year's draft. And of course, if we can stabilize that corner position as well, I wouldn't mind adding some more corner depth in the later rounds, along with potentially getting another defensive tackle or two. It's kind of where my mind is at, really solidifying the offensive defensive line and then our linebackers. But without further ado, your Chicago Bears at home going up against Teddy Bridgewater, Saquon Barkley, and the New York Football Giants. Let's get it underway. 2-0. Here we come. Ooh, nice rainy day. I don't know if I'd say nice, but rainy day here in Soldier Field as New York comes into Chicago to try to get their first win of the season. David Montgomery, good stats last week. 119 yards. He rushed it 34 times. But Teddy Bridgewater, bridge quarterback for New York, along with Kadarius Toney and Saquon Barkley, have something to say about Chicago's defense. Nice flyover there by the U.S. military. Salute. It's a service game. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But New York trying to go to 2-0 for the first time in a long time. I'd have to look at when's the last time Chicago has been 2-0. Maybe I said New York. But New York's trying to get back to 1-1, and Justin Fields with a lot of weapons here on the offensive side of the ball. High expectations from this third-year starter at the quarterback position. Chicago hopeful are really hoping that he can lead them to the playoffs. Let's find out if that playoff hunt starts today. Chicago is going to look to go to 2-0. You also see back-to-back weeks, the blaze orange coming out for Chicago. Fans loving it. I love it. And we're not switching it until we lose. Last week, Justin Fields, air throw leads an interception, but other than that one little blemish, he looked pretty daggone good. All three wide receivers, Mooney, McCole Hardman, and Calvin Ridley all got some love, as it's a rainy day in Chicago, and that feeds into both of these teams' game plan on offense, which is running it. And of course, Montgomery gets the first carry for 2. Game plan for Chicago, run it. They expected rain, and coming back from behind the line, Montgomery gets stopped. That is Marcus Davenport coming off the edge and getting the tackle. Look at the speed, closing speed there, and that brings up a 3rd down and 11. New York, if they're able to stop the running game of Chicago and put the hands in Justin Fields in these 3rd and long, especially with the rainy weather, who knows what'll happen. We got a blitz coming here. It's thrown underneath, and that is Calvin Ridley. He catches it, but goes down 2 yards short, and Chicago had to punt it 3 and out. So Davenport and the defense holds. Now Saquon, Teddy Bridgewater looking to try to take the lead here early in the 1st quarter. Bridgewater all alone. Shotgun set. Barkley out to the left. And let's see what happens. Pressure trying to get them. Saquon, and he just, I'm sorry, Teddy Bridgewater, he just throws it away. Cashman, free agent acquisition after the draft, in coverage. Teddy Bridgewater, what are you doing? On the run, a little inaccurate. I think he was trying to get it to that wide receiver in the 2nd level. That was Kenny Golladay, and maybe the rain had something to do with it. It was highly inaccurate, and the #1 defense last year in turnovers gets a huge turnover here today. Now they are already inside Chicago territory as Montgomery takes it for a gain of 3. This run defense for New York is really holding the Bears from doing anything. Montgomery's really not running the ball too well. And last week there was some issues running the ball against the backers. Let's see if that continues to be a theme going forward, as Montgomery has no trouble here, and he picks up 7. So you see here, I got the lock plays in here, so read options, so I can't run that again. And what'll happen is if all 3 are locked, then I'll obviously switch to something else, but that's there again, so I don't use and abuse those like read options, because they work really well. That's honestly the main reason why I did it. And there are a few pass plays that I kind of tend to utilize a lot. Again, it just makes it a little harder. 1st and 10, draw handed to Montgomery, and he has no trouble back-to-back plays. He has picked up, what, 16 yards? He's gotten them inside the 10. Chicago looking to try to take a lead here 8 minutes into the 1st quarter. Montgomery, space, picks it up. 3 big runs for Montgomery. His 3rd rushing touchdown here already on the season. Chicago's up 7-0. So the defense from New York holds first time around, gives their offense a chance to take a lead, and Teddy Bridgewater throws an interception, which leads to a touchdown in Chicago. All the momentum on their side. Johnson coming in for a sack. See him coming off the edge there, reads the play action and sacks Teddy Bridgewater. A huge loss there, and a loss of 18. That was actually Jamar Johnson, 2nd string corner, who that was on us. Kadarius Toney with his first catch for a huge gain of 18, but Johnson coming in on the blitz. I don't know why Gordon was not in on that slot blitz, but Kadarius Toney on the linebacker. If that's how Chicago plays that all day, well, that's not going to be a good matchup for the Bears. Gets them out of a huge hole. Play action again. Teddy Bridgewater finds his underneath. Fullback Wilson picks up 7. It's already early in this 1st quarter, man. We've already seen some big plays by both teams. Interceptions, sacks. Kadarius Toney with a nice run. Teddy Bridgewater with some time and some space, and he throws that to Kenny Golladay, who he tried to get to earlier on that interception. Fits it in the soft spot of that zone, and Kenny Golladay to get both feet in. Back-to-back big passing plays for Bridgewater. Got this ball to the 48. He's looking over the middle, then dumps it off to Saquon, who spins off of a tackler, jukes 2 more, and then gets the 1st down. Saquon showing why he's so special here on that play. Oh, Saquon with the fumble. Another turnover. I think that was that Vander Esch with the forced fumble? I'm not sure. Rainy day, anything can happen. And New York has turned it over twice on both of their drives. That was Vander Esch. Hit stick right to Barkley, who coughs it up. So disaster here for New York. They've done a good job opening drive against Chicago. They hold them a 3-and-out. Then they throw an interception, which gives Chicago good field position, and they score a touchdown. Then they get outside, or I'm sorry, to the 50, and Saquon coughs it up, giving it right back to Chicago. 3rd down and 10. Let's see if they can get a stop here. And we're going to look here on offense. Justin Fields. We'll try to get this to Calvin Ridley, maybe. Hardman might also be good. Mooney. We've got options now here, and I love it. Look at that. Throwing it underneath. Oh, almost. Mooney comes back and attacks the football. Finally, we're seeing wide receivers do that in Madden. But Murphy Bunting in on the tackle, one-on-one, in coverage, in open space, is able to stop Mooney from picking up the 1st down. Good stop by New York. So Saquon hasn't even rushed the ball once today. He has caught 2 passes, and one of them he coughed up. Bridgewater under center, Barkley right behind him. It's snapped, looking to pass it. They're throwing it a lot here to open up this game, and that is thrown to the outside. I'm not sure who that was. Looking to pass it again. That's thrown a little flat to the tight end. And Teddy Bridgewater, after throwing that interception, has found some rhythm. He's 7 for 8. Another pass. Another throw to Ebron. Another 1st down. The rain really hasn't lightened up. New York game plan, I guess, wants to throw it. Chicago's game plan, they talked about all week, stopping Saquon, stopping the run. They were not expecting Chicago to come out here and do this as Kadarius Toney catches another 1st down by New York. They're having no issues here. There's a sack, and that is Gordon. No, I'm sorry, that's Eddie Jackson coming in off the edge, a blitz. So 2 defensive back blitzes coming in and bringing pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. 4 have not been able to get home for Chicago, so they've resulted in here early already sending blitzes. And we're going to send another safety blitz, Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker. We're going to have to carry Saquon here. We'll see what happens. Saquon out to the right, and that's going to be dumped off to Eric Ebron. He gets gang tackled. Chicago, one of the most blitz-happy teams last year, resulted in a lot of turnovers, and they are not going to shy away from that this year. Here's another blitz. Let's see what happens. That's thrown up and broken up. Almost brought down by the wide receiver there for New York. But Jalen Johnson in coverage breaks it up. Not able to hang on to it. Rainy conditions, and New York has to punt it. So at the end of the 1st quarter, Chicago here on a rainy day, 7-0 lead. The defense is the story here, as we've already had 2 turnovers by the Chicago Bears defense as they're looking to try to extend their lead here in the 2nd quarter. So David Montgomery with not a lot of success running the ball here early in the season. I was really hoping with an improved offensive line that he was going to be able to maybe get up to 5 yards a carry, but it's really not happening. That's thrown a little bit behind McCole Hardman, but he is able to be an athlete, turn around in space, and make the catch. 1st down, Chicago. Justin Fields, all day to run, read option. He goes out of bounds at the 43. Justin Fields with 27 yards. The Chicago Bears rushing attack with 63 yards on the ground. We saw that last year. Chicago, when they took off, Justin Fields started running the ball a little bit more. It was like he was a little apprehensive at the start of the season to run at David Montgomery. Gets stopped after picking up 5. 3rd down and 2, ball on the 35. Remember, we did change the way we're kicking, so the 35 yards and plus can make for a long kick. And Montgomery stopped in the backfield, actually loses a yard, and Cole Kmet is hurt. Now, we saw Max Williams get hurt last week. I don't even know if he's back. I did not even look. Rainy day injury, though, but that could be big. Cole Kmet, a good safety valve for Justin Fields in the end zone. And on big 3rd downs last week, we saw him convert. So, Cairo Santos out. Rainy day here in Chicago. You got to watch your plant leg as you try to make this kick. The kick is up, and it's good. Chicago's up 10-0. So Cole Kmet has a strained tricep. He will not return for this game. So Max Williams is in because we can substitute for him. So that's why we picked up Max Williams. In case Kmet got hurt, we know how much Justin Fields loves to throw to his tight end. So we wanted to give him some options. And there's pressure coming. And I'm going to tell you what, Cashman, has he been the best signing for us so far? Gets in a sack. He's already got a sack and an interception. Look at that. Just free reign to the quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater goes down for like the 4th time already today as New York is reeling here on offense, looking to try to get something going. That's thrown up. And Van Der Esch and Jalen Johnson run at each other. And the ball falls down incomplete. Could have been another interception as Teddy Bridgewater tried to throw that up and let his wide receiver get it, but hung up in the air just a little too long. Oh, so Max Williams gets hurt now. So we're down to one tight end. It means we'll have offensive lineman in. No, of course. Our utility knife blasting game. I mean, why not? He's playing tight end for us now. Oh, Montgomery with room to run. Gets it all the way to the 31, and Montgomery 65 yards here early in the second quarter. If it wasn't for McKinney there, that was probably going to be a house call. And 3rd down and 4, we've had some opportunities to run it here. I would say if Montgomery was in, I would run it, but since he's not, I would say that they would decide to probably pass this on 3rd down and 4, even though it is in the rain. We're up by 2 scores. We'll try to throw this underneath. And it's dropped. Justin Fields trying to get that to Darnell Mooney. It says a pass breakup, but it looked more like a drop to me. So Cairo Santos in for the 2nd time today. And the kick is up, and it's going to be good. 13-0. Chicago with the lead. So blitzing and bringing pressure has been really good for New York. I'm sorry, for Chicago. And we're going to continue that trend here as we send safety pressure. Kadarius Toney has been kind of the safety valve for Teddy Bridgewater here early. He's already got 40 yards receiving. Now, Eric Ebron, he's tried to get it to him a few times. A few drop passes by Eric Ebron. And now Teddy Bridgewater finds his guy over the middle. And is that Myers? Who is Myers? I know we talked about it in the pregame, but I already forgot about his name. Oh, Kadarius Toney open. This zone coverage against the veteran quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, really not working too well. So 3rd down and 7, ball on the 23. Basically the red zone for New York. They need to get a 1st down here. A field goal really doesn't do too much for them, as Teddy Bridgewater just throws it away. It looked like he had some room to run it, but maybe hearing footsteps after being sacked so much. So New York's kicker, no longer Graham Gano, is out, and it's good. Good blocking, Montgomery. Man, maybe there isn't nothing to worry about with David Montgomery, as he has 87 yards now. And we are rolling here on offense. I was really worried about New York Giants defense, but without maybe Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe they're a little, that was a freaking hit if I've ever seen one. Haven't really seen too much from Dexter Lawrence and Marcus Davenport, other than early on in the beginning of the game. Montgomery with space to run. And now, over 100 yards. David Montgomery is back to primetime form. Got nowhere to run it. Justin Fields takes it, goes out of bounds, 50 yards, and this rushing attack by Chicago. Maybe New York thought, after seeing Justin Fields throw it so much, maybe this is what this team needed on offense, was the threat of throwing it with Mecole Hardman, with Darnell Mooney, with Calvin Ridley. It's opened up the run game here to where New York just doesn't have an answer. There's Montgomery running to the edge. Touchdown, Chicago. Oh, good pass, Kadarius Toney. I tell you what, Teddy Bridgewater in this zone is actually working really good as they're moving the ball here with only a minute 30 remaining in the first half, trying to answer down by 17 points. Ball on the 28. It's about as good as they moved it all game. That's thrown. Kenny Galladay. Oh, Kadarius Toney, man. He's quick. Teddy Bridgewater finds Kadarius Toney as New York answers in the end zone for the first time today. And they're going to bring this within 10 pending the extra point, and they do. 57 seconds remaining. Is that enough time? Does Matt Eberflus want to move the ball down the field and take a chance? Now, we don't get the ball to start the third quarter, so we might want to go ahead and try to take a shot here. Oh, that's beautiful right there. Mooney finding space to the 43. Get it on the 43. We need to move it maybe another 10 yards to at least kick a field goal. I think we get any points out of this. At this point, this would be huge. It's thrown. We got a flag. It might be roughing the passer. And it is. It hit the end zone. That's going to be thrown off to the left. Hardman. No, it's Mooney. I'm sorry. But to use another timeout. 18 seconds. Oh, we've got no timeouts. Ooh, okay. Not a good decision by me. And I took a sack. No. What an idiot. So I think we continue to run it inside, but we really have to worry about the passing attack of Teddy Bridgewater and them getting this back in this game. We're not even going to talk about what just happened. That might come back to bite us in the butt. Oh, it's a fumble. Somebody pick it up. No way. Oh, so 3rd and 10, we're going to bring pressure, try to force a bad decision by Teddy Bridgewater. Ball basically at midfield. That's thrown underneath the, I keep saying Kadarius Toney, Kenny Golladay, man. Sack! Travis Gibson. I'm telling you what, he is making a leap here in our 2nd year franchise. I think he got one last week, maybe even he got 2. I could be talking about real life watching the Bears. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure he got one last week. That's an interception. We overran it. Robinson, Jalen Johnson, Wan'Dale Robinson with the easiest touchdown he'll ever have. Look at that. Just Johnson taking a chance and making a huge mistake. Just like that, 14 unanswered points by New York, and we've got a 3-point game. And it's basically just coming out of halftime. But Chicago has an answer, and his name is David Montgomery. So 3rd down and 2, ball at the 49. And we talked about that field goal in the half. Did we get the first down? Yeah, no, 4th and inches. No way we didn't get that. Now look, we did what coach wanted us to do last week. I think in this situation, you're at home. New York's starting to gain some of the momentum. I think you try to run it. Worst case scenario, we're still up by 3. I think this is a big play here for Chicago to gain the momentum back. See what happens. Herbert gets it, first down. Oh, we got a blitz. Didn't pick it up quick enough. McFadden coming in from his linebacking position and gets a sack. Runs free there. 3rd and 19. I think we try to pass it here. We're not running it. If we can even get close to where we can potentially go for it again, I will. Frisker here, or Fersker, might get open, might not. Justin Fields, we've got some room. We'll just dive down, pick up a few yards. We'll have to punt it. You want to talk about 2 teams getting it done in 2 completely different ways. Chicago ran it over 200 yards, and New York not even got, I don't even know if they've eclipsed 30 yards rushing yet. You see Saquon only has 16. It's 2 different ways of getting it done here in a rainy environment. That's thrown over the middle. Kenny Golladay is feasting on these DBs of Chicago. He's got 6 receptions, 77 yards, and there's plenty of time in the pocket here for Teddy Bridgewater unless we send pressure. And we send pressure, we're 1-on-1, so it's kind of a catch-22 for Chicago here in these situations. As another clean pocket, he finds another wide receiver, and now in opponent territory, Kadarius Toney takes that to the 33. Oh, man. I don't even know what you do about that. Throw it to Ebron. Who was he covering? And just like that, they take a lead. 21 unanswered points for New York. That's Jaquan Brisker. Well, he's back to being the butt of our jokes. 3rd down and 10, man. This is getting worrisome for Chicago. All the momentum is on the side of New York. They have 21 unanswered points, and we've got to go down and score. We've got some space. Don't fumble it. And we do. Freaking lineman picks it up behind the line. I think if I would have slid down, I probably would have given myself up right before the line of scrimmage. Defense has got a hold. We got to make a stop here. What is going on? Every time they throw it, it's a touchdown. Oh, broken tackle. Montgomery to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Ujulari won't catch him, and David Montgomery with a 75-yard touchdown. There is no tackling in this game. Of course, we're going for it to try to make it a 3-point game. As the third quarter ends, we're running it against this front. This isn't going to be good. Yep, don't get it. Oh, it was a fumble. I wasn't even looking. Yo. I don't think I've ever played a Madden game. I think there's been 3 plays and we've had 3 touchdowns, maybe even 4. Yeah, I think 3 straight plays have all been touchdowns. We've had 3 turnovers. What? There we go. Up by 3. Somehow. This game's wild. Did Teddy Bridgewater just run a read option on us? Teddy Bridgewater's a better runner than Saquon in this game. They get it inside Chicago territory. There's only 10 minutes remaining in this game. They are in prime opportunity to at least tie it, maybe even take the lead. Saquon's not getting anything. Interception, user pick, Cashman again. This guy is making a name for himself. That's what? 1 sack, 2 interceptions? Defensive player of the week for sure. So also another thing, David Montgomery is only like 60 yards away from the all-time single season or single game rushing record, which is at like 296. So now he's only 50 yards away with 3 touchdowns. And we're going to keep feeding him. We are going to keep feeding him. Can he get to 300 in this game? That's what I'm kind of worried about. Montgomery! Oh, what was that? Quincy Roche coming in with the tackle. Freaking Superman's him. Look at this. What the heck was that? Again, Montgomery, space to run, gets it. 9 yards now, only 25 yards away from breaking or tying the record. So we got him back in. Montgomery can pick up 6 yards, which would still need to pick up 20 before the end of this game to break the record. But Montgomery, 4 touchdowns. He's unstoppable. So my goal now really is obviously not to lose this game, but to get the ball back into our offense's hands so that we can 363 yards rushing. That's, ridiculous. Nice pass breakup. Wide open. Holy crap. Jacoby Myers. Teddy Bridgewater also 453 yards passing. What? How close is he to a record? Yeah, just for reference, Norm Van Brocklin, 554 yards passing, single game passing record. So Teddy Bridgewater, potentially could get there. It'll be a lot harder for him, but could 2 big time single game records be broken in this one game to rush 20 yards? Jesus Christ. It's at will. Oh, that's a pick. It's picked off. Johnson doesn't miss that one. And we get this ball back. And we got to run it because they got all 3 of their timeouts. And break the record. Oh, we get stopped from behind. We lose yardage. So 22 yards is what we need. We're going to have to. Oh, man, it's going to be tough. I might even run it on 4th down. No, I won't do that. But. Oh, we lose another yard. So really, this is probably our last chance. We're going to run it once more. Oh. Last play of the game. We're going to blitz. Hopefully we don't. And it's caught. Jacoby Myers tries to get closer. Teddy Bridgewater finishes with 519 yards, which would have him tied for. No, he would be 9th all time, single season. Then David Montgomery finishes 4th all time. So 9th and 4th. And that is a crazy, when it rains, it's always a crazy game, but holy crap. I did not see it finishing that way. So we get the interception. Also, we get a crap ton of turnovers. David Montgomery gets an XP point, as he should. We'll go to elusive back. So we are now 2-0. A lot better. Remember, last year we started 0-2. And I think we had the Packers and the 49ers to open it up. So, a little easier schedule for us here, but I'm not going to complain. We do have the Chargers next week. These next 3 games are not going to be easy. We got the Chargers, we got the Lions, and then we have the Vikings. So all three of these huge games. We also got our first mock draft, so we'll get an idea of that. We also will have an idea of some of the players in the draft pool as well. So we got a lot of things going on. The Vikings lose. The Bears are finally atop the NFC North. But next week, we will have to go to LA and take on an 0-2 Charger team that is reeling for a win. It's not going to be easy. I'll catch everybody on the next one. Peace out.